Thank you for your interest in Royal Caribbean. We appreciate the opportunity to introduce you to our company, a company poised to transform the shrimp production industry, addressing unmet market needs and creating significant economic opportunity for investors. Transformation may be a bold statement or one you hear from many others, but in this case, the solution to our industry's production issues requires a step change in thinking, and Royal Caribbean has designed that step change. Like other types of seafood, the answer to the shrimp industry's problems lies in aquaculture. However, new methodologies must be implemented. This is Royal Caribbean's focus. The quantity of wild capture seafood brought to the market began to level off several decades ago. Aquaculture became the only alternative. Today, global per capita farmed seafood consumption has surpassed human consumption of wild-caught seafood. Many countries jumped into shrimp production to meet demand and build massive aquaculture facilities to produce farm shrimp. Yet, disease, land destruction, pollution, weather, a batch process, and no traceback have become increasingly problematic. Of these issues, disease is the number one threat to production, and the batch nature of production makes availability unpredictable. Royal Caribbean and the industry leaders believe a step-change approach in technology is required to change the paradigm and address these issues. We decided to look elsewhere for ideas on how to transform the existing production models. Vegetable farming is a great analogy for how shrimp production might be transformed. Traditionally, vegetable farming has been land-intensive, batch-oriented, and susceptible to weather and disease. Most crops are seasonal, making availability unpredictable, not unlike pond-based shrimp farming. Recently, farmers have turned to high-intensity farming, using indoor facilities that allow continuous production and better biosecurity. Going vertical reduces land requirements and allows siting farms closer to markets. Vertical farms also require less water, fertilizer, and pesticides, thus reducing their environmental impact and improving food quality. These are the concepts Royal Caribbean has applied to shrimp farming so that shrimp can be available in predictable, healthy quantities every day of the year and reduce land, water, feed waste, as well as limited use of chemical additives such as antibiotics. What if the same concepts could be applied to shrimp farming? Could shrimp be available in predictable, healthy quantities every day of the year? Could we reduce land, water, feed waste, and use of antibiotics? Could we create a scalable food source? And could we do it profitably? Royal Caribbean's solution to these issues of the industry was designed to answer yes to these questions and more. The key to enabling transformation begins with Royal Caribbean's production approach. Yes, shipping containers. They are the building blocks of our technology and the epicenter of the modular step change we will bring to the industry. During this introductory presentation, we will show you how shrimp can be successfully and sustainably raised using shipping containers customized for our patent-pending design and process. We've named our solution Generation 2, that is Gen 2 Raceway Shrimp Farming. Raceway farming is key to overcoming many of the issues I've mentioned. Together with researchers at Texas A&M University, we developed Gen 1 a few years ago. Using Gen 1, it was shown that shrimp could predictably and repeatedly be raised without health issues, had great taste, and were economical to produce. After Texas A&M abandoned its research, Royal Caribbean continued to perfect the concepts, further addressing water conservation, disease management, and other issues. Today, that solution is Gen 2, a patent-pending step change in shrimp production that is ready for commercialization. The system will allow us to raise 16 to 26 gram shrimp in just 4 months. Our planned production plants will operate in a continuous manufacturing mode, producing over 3,500 pounds of shrimp each day, or 1.3 million pounds per year. Here is how we do it. Each container contains 3 wasteways or troughs. the water quality and physical conditions are monitored and controlled by computerized feedback loops, thereby maintaining an ideal isolated environment for optimal shrimp development. Post-larval stage shrimp are introduced into the system in one raceway and grown for 1 month. At that point, they enter the grow-out stage. As the shrimp grow in size, the colony is periodically subdivided into other raceways so that the biomass of the shrimp in any one raceway remains consistent. Biomass control is key to Royal Caribbean's multiphasic approach. Each shrimp colony is subdivided 3 times in monthly intervals. It takes 4 months to raise 16 to 26 gram shrimp from the post-larval stage and ready for market. This modular approach not only creates an optimal growing environment and isolates any disease element, it completely simplifies plant construction. Raceway equipment containers can be constructed at a central site and shipped to the planned location. With this approach, the build-out of a single, large-scale plant can be accomplished in just a few months. This is the layout for a small-scale plant like the first one we plan to build. The only difference between this plant and the 1.3 million pound plant is space and the number of production units. 1 pair of containers, shown here in orange, will be dedicated as a nursery where we nurture the post-larvae before transfer to the grow-out units. In red are the production units. The big difference between our first plant and the larger ones will be the number of production units. Each unit is a pair of stacked containers holding 3 raceways each. At the top of the diagram in the green box, you'll see the water and waste handling systems, a key to maintaining the optimal growing environment. A plant will also include packaging and shipping facilities, as well as office, lab, and locker room space. A proprietary approach to growing large, healthy shrimp in a sustainable manner is just one piece of the puzzle. There must also be a readily addressable market. The U.S. market for imported shrimp has been growing steadily. In 2017, the country imported over 600,000 tons of shrimp. That number continues to climb on a steadily increasing trajectory. There are many drivers for this market growth for which Royal Caribbean is ideally suited. The U.S. market can easily absorb all of our planned production during the first 6 years. The Chinese market alone is 2.5 times the size of the U.S. market, and the EU market is on par with the U.S. Once the first plant is operational, the challenge will be to get the shrimp to market. Fortunately, there are readily available and reliable distribution methods in the U.S. In year 1, we anticipate opening a retail location near our first plant. One of our founders has managed a traditional shrimp farm near our planned location and has successfully operated a similar retail channel, selling all of the shrimp they could produce at market prices. After year 1, with larger plants coming online, we will engage other sales channels including online food wholesalers, grocery chains, restaurants, etc. We will face competition from many other protein sources. Aquaculture-based seafood, however, is the fastest-growing food category with no sign of slowing down. We see 3 types of direct competition: wild-caught shrimp, U.S. farm-raised, and imports from international locations. Of these, only the imports are significant, and they make up 93% of U.S. shrimp consumption. Wild-caught fisheries are already at capacity and cannot expand physically to meet increasing demand or competition. U.S.-based farming industry is not a material source of supply. We are very confident that we will compete favorably with international farming sources for 2 reasons. First, product quality, and secondly, production technology. From a product perspective, Royal Caribbean shrimp will meet or outperform the competition on many levels. Using GEN1, we have shown that shrimp raised in these facilities have better taste, texture, and appearance than imported frozen shrimp and are disease-free. We've also demonstrated we can grow 16 to 26 gram shrimp, meeting the market's increasing demand for premium shrimp, especially the live and fresh dead, never frozen markets. Our estimates show we will earn solid gross margins in the mid 60% range, even at a fairly low price of $15 per pound, and we can make shrimp available year-round. The GEN12 process uses less land, water, and power while generating less waste than any other production method in use today or plant in construction. Our methods enable high levels of production using scalable, modularized technology that can be located close to the market anywhere in the world, but we will begin with the U.S. Royal Caribbean's solution is, we believe, the absolute best alternative for sustainable, socially responsible aquaculture while also being the foundation for a highly profitable venture. Key members of the team are in place and bring experience with the Royal Caribbean's technology, shrimp farm operations, retail shrimp operations, and financial and operational management. We appreciate your time and recognize this was a very brief introduction to the company. We are very interested in the potential for your organization to join our team as an investor and would welcome the opportunity to talk with you in depth about what we believe is the only company with a commercially viable approach to transforming the shrimp industry and the dedicated team that will make it happen.